All right, I didn't know if I was going to make another video on this, but the Lions' most recent acquisition at the time of me filming this, I don't know if it will be by the time that it posts. Um, the most recent acquisition that we got out by bringing a player in, it just keeps getting better. And I want to just talk about a couple of things so people understand how good this guy is. And I think there's some injury concerns and things of that nature, like everybody that Brad Holmes brings in. And I know people are getting sick of the injury concerns, but I want to hit it right away why this signing is even better than we originally thought. All right. And before I do that, make sure if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. We're making a push for 20,000. We always like more subs because then that just guarantees that the video gets put out in front of more people. I mean, it's really that simple. And we want as many people watching our videos as possible, being part of this community that we've had so much fun building over the last 2.5 years. We want to be your go-to spot for Lions football news and opinions. And so if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet and you've been watching a little while, please just go ahead and do that. So what am I talking about here? I'm talking about DJ Reader. And here's the thing. I watched the press conference with him, and you see the title here, Detroit Lions DJ Reader offers optimistic injury update. And I'm going to plead ignorance on this one because when we signed him, I knew he had a torn quad. I don't know what that means. Like, I know that it hurts. I know that it has a large recovery time. From what I see on Google, it's up to 6 months recovery. And he said in his press conference he expects to be back. But here's what I didn't know. And I don't like to pretend to play doctor. But what I didn't know is that this is his second torn quad. He tore his other quad. Now, it's in different legs. He even laughed about it at the press conference. They're like, this is a different leg, right? He's like, yeah, it's a different leg. He tore his quad in 2020. He knows what this rehab is like. And he came back off that torn quad and played phenomenal. He played phenomenal. All right. In fact, in 2020, before he tore his quad, was the worst graded out year he had in the NFL since his rookie year. After that, he has gotten better. He's posted up scores of 81, 87, and 82 on PFF in the last 3 years. So the injury concern isn't there. Like, he's been there. He's done it. In fact, he said he feels like he's recovering faster from this torn quad than the last one. And honestly, that just makes sense. He knows what the rehab looks like. He admitted, like, hey, last time it was 2020. It was during COVID. I was depressed. Everybody was depressed. The world was upside down. He's like, rehab's always hard, and it is. Rehab is always difficult. But he's like, I know what my body's doing. My body has learned how to recover from this. And your body does do that. It's amazing what the human body can do. So the body understands what's going on. And he is just sitting here and recovering, and he knows when to push it, when not to. He knows what feels right, what feels wrong, because he's done it before. And that's what I think's amazing. I'm glad it's not the same leg. That would be concerning. But he tore it in 2020. He played 3 pretty healthy years. All right, the year after was a very healthy year. And then after that, and then he tore it again. All right, so he played 2.5 healthy years. And then tore the opposite one. So when we're sitting here and we're looking at why this is even better, it's because the injury's better. But that's not it. I got 2 more things for you, all right? So don't go anywhere. Just stick around, all right? The second thing that I have for you, right here, DJ Reader on Broderick Martin. I can't wait to get my hands on him and just talk to him about ball. I can't wait to get my hands on him and just talk about ball. I love this because here's the thing you have to realize. DJ Reader was a team captain for the Cincinnati Bengals, one of the best teams in football for the last 4 years. He was a team captain. He said it meant a lot to him because it's voted on by the players. So he is just absolutely thrilled all right, to be a team captain. He's a good team captain. He talked about what a freak Aiden Hutchinson is to have a guy that has that kind of bend, that kind of athleticism at that size with that strength. It's crazy. And he said when he's hyped up, I'll be right there to hype him up. When he's down or frustrated, I'll be there to hype him up and get his head back in the game. Like, we are getting a player that's not just a good defensive tackle. We are getting a player that is an A++ teammate. You can't be a captain 4 years in a row and not be an A++. That's just what, like, that's fantastic. So this is the kind of guy that might want to be there. And I got to admit, when I'm watching the press conference with him, I'm just like, I am just overly impressed with this guy. I'm overly impressed with this guy. I'm absolutely amazed at what kind of a player, what kind of a teammate he is. Like, it's just really, really impressive. Now, I want to give you an idea of what kind of a player he is, because we don't just sign people because they're good people. All right? This is last year's grades. All right? We know Aleem McNeil was awesome. And then we know behind that, not great. Not great at all. All right? And there's interior defenders. These are currently on the roster. But DJ Reader and Aleem McNeil. Aleem McNeil was 7th out of 130 defensive interior defenders, as they call them, with PFF. DJ Reader ranked 11th. If you are a top 32, you are an above average starter in the NFL. If you're a top 64, you have a starting caliber grade. The film, what it looks like on tape, the production, all match up to these numbers for these guys. The Detroit Lions now have a defensive interior with the 7th and 11th ranked defensive tackles. Let that just sink in for a second. The last time you can think of a time that the Lions had this good of an interior defensive line in any way, shape, or form. Now, these guys do it in a completely different way. I'm not saying that they're the same. All right? They do it in a different way. But the last time you had guys that would have been considered top 10 players at their position, or top 15 players, or even 20 standing next to each other, at least in my memory, would be Ndamukong Suh and Nick Fairley. I think that's probably what it would be. And now you have DJ Reader and Aleem McNeil. All right? That is 350 pounds. I'm sorry, 650 pounds of pure beef in the middle. That's unbelievable. The more I think about this signing, I understand the injury history. I also understand the contract a little bit. All right, I also understand the contract a little bit. And this is not a crazy contract that we signed him to. It just isn't. All right? It's not yet in there, but what we do know is that he got a 2-year salary for somewhere around $23 million with incentives up to $27, but only $9 million guaranteed. We don't know what that breaks down from year 1 to year 2 yet. It's not out there. I'm sure I'll do a video on it, but it's not going to kill us 2 years in a row. And I'm so happy to hear it. So, all right, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. This is a good signing. It's a really good signing by the Lions on all fronts that it can be. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.